Hi everybody, this is what I promised in my last video, to play a slow piece of music and try and show you what's going on in my head while I'm playing this, just to help you to actually learn to play something with rhythm. Amazing Grace, a nice old piece, no issues with copyrights with playing that, so that's probably why I chose it. But it's a very slow piece of music and it's difficult to play in rhythm. It really is difficult. Why is it so difficult? Because you have to count, I don't know how you would call it. I usually call it counting, but I don't know if it's counting. It's like this beat going on in your head all the time. And again, to play this in rhythm is all about what's going on in your head. Now, while you're watching this and while you're listening to this, you can't hear the rhythm. This is what I meant in my last video. You can't hear it. But if it's played in rhythm correctly, then you can feel it. You can, yes, it rings a bell, it clicks. So, what is actually going on while I'm playing this? The first thing I do when I start playing this is just have it in my head. Do-dee-dum. But it's not just that. I break it down into little pieces, like little heartbeats. Tidy da da doodly da da do da do da da do da dee do dee da dee da dee da dee 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 do dee da dee 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 dee. That's what's going on in my head. You don't hear it, but that's what I'm thinking. So break it down into little beats in your head. And there's nothing wrong with playing it with all the beats that you got in your head. Like that. But obviously that's a way to practice this. But you really want to practice with that beat still going on in your head, but don't let anyone hear it. Keep it to yourself. And again, it's also a case of do dee da da. When I think the ta, do dee da da dee da. On the ta, I need to play that note. So again, it's the connection between brain and instrument. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a piano or a guitar, or when the beat goes on in your head, you need to play it at that precise time. I think that that's the best way I can explain how to play in rhythm. Many musicians, if you hear them play, before they start, they always have this or a click or something, or stamp their feet or something like that, just to get the right rhythm in their head, and then they start playing. You notice that. Try and watch some other videos of people playing, especially on stage when you can see them in full height with everything, feet, etc. But actually most players, when they start playing a piece, they get the rhythm in their head first. This can also be done by a backing track. So, you know, like I said in the last video, you can play a backing track, but give yourself a little time, intro time. So let the backing track play and then know where you got to start. But it's all about what's going on in your head. And people can't see that, people can't hear it. but it doesn't mean that it's not there. You have to do that all the time. In the beginning, when you don't play like that, it can be quite tiring, I suppose. So start with short little pieces, right? There's other exercises. For instance, like counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. That's going on in your head. Now, try to play the same note, but without the rhythm. So play 2 notes. Da, 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 da. Try to play them exactly as long. So here we go. This is what you're thinking. But this is what you can hear. So, yeah, I guess you could say playing in rhythm is a bit mysterious, it's a bit secretive, there's things going on that you are not quite aware of, and if you're not aware of that, then it can be quite difficult to actually play in rhythm. But the trick to play in rhythm is to have this heartbeat going on in your head. Some people say it's counting, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 or anything like that, but it's more like a feeling. It's more like a feeling, especially with Amazing Grace. With Amazing Grace, it's also a case of counting. So for instance, 1 ta ta, 2 ta ta, 3 ta ta, 1 nan nan ta da da ta da da ta da da. And how many ta da das do you need for that particular note? Now this is of course something that reading music can help with, because actually you can see if you know your note lengths and all that. So you read music and then you know how many ta da das you need for that note. But of course, otherwise it's just a case of counting in your head. It's a combination of pulsating, so the ta da 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 da, and also counting ta da da, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's both. It's like having the beat going on in your head, but it's also a case of counting. How many ta da das do I need for that note? See what I mean? So it's like ta da. So what I've got in my head is ta da 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 da. That's not exactly counting. It's just like a beat that goes on in my head. But if you just have the beat, it doesn't help. You also need to know how many sort of beats you need, how many ta da das. That's how I'll call it, you know. So that's kind of the secret, if you like. I don't know if it's a secret, I don't make a secret of it, but that's how you play in rhythm. Like I said, some pieces of music are easier to follow the rhythm than others. Polkas, waltzes, etc. Obvious, very obvious. It's like a polka. I don't know even what it's called, but that's quite an obvious rhythm. That's quite easy to get in your head. Again, what's more difficult is a slow piece of music like Amazing Grace. Do dee da da dee da da dee da da dee da da dee do 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 da. do-dee-doo-da, etc., etc. You've got to have that sort of beat, heartbeat going on in your head all the time. Especially with slow music, if you play like, I'll play that note for about this long, then two short ones and then about that long, that's when you play without rhythm. It doesn't work like that. You have to have a sort of beat count combination between beats and counts going on in your head. And once you get that, it's actually not that difficult. It sounds difficult if you're not used to it, but try it, and you'll find it easier and easier. And again, a little exercise to play in rhythm is just get a rhythm in your head, da 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 da, and play that on your instrument. So play it as you think it. Play it as you think it, and then leave the instrument and make it inaudible, so make sure people can't hear it, but make sure it still goes on in your head. This is literally what I've spent a few months thinking about, how to explain it to someone, how to explain to someone who really struggles with playing in rhythm, how you can play in rhythm, and especially slow music. And this is what I could come up with. So this is a few months worth of thinking. I hope it helps. I hope this gives you a bit of an idea. If people tell you, hang on, you're not in rhythm, that's where you need to go back to yourself and think, oh, hang on. And don't forget, don't play faster, because rhythm is not the same as tempo. Yeah, so if someone tells you you're not in rhythm, don't go faster. Hang on, I need to have more outspoken beats in my head. That's how it works. I really hope that this works for you, especially for those people who really struggle. And again, don't forget, if you play to backing tracks, very important, and it makes a huge difference, still have that beat in your head going on. That beat has to be here, not in the backing track. And just imagine that the backing track is following you. That will make a huge difference, I can guarantee you. Just imagine that the backing track is following you. Don't follow the backing track. The backing track is following you. Just get that in your head. And even though the backing track does the rhythm for you, you still need it to go on in your head. I hope this helps. I really hope so. I really do. Good luck. Any questions, please pop them down in the comments here below. Please. I'd really welcome your questions. And if there's anything that you want explaining a bit more, you think, hang on, this is what I'm struggling with, but you didn't really address that, please pop the question down and I'll make a video about it. I don't mind. I really don't. Thanks, and see you in the next video. Thank you.